Hey, can you guys see me? All right, can you guys see me? Let's see here. Okay, cool. All right, guys, just give me 1 second. I'm having a little bit of difficulty. For some reason, my phone would not let me go live and it wouldn't let me rotate. I have no idea what's going on. Just give me 1 second, all right? All right. Let's see here. All right. Well, for some reason, I can't rotate my phone. All right, can you guys hear me? Let's see, we should be all connected up. And I think we're good here. I think. All right, cool. All right, yeah, guys, I have no idea what's going on. So I tried to press live, and for some reason it said unable to go live. And then now that it went live, it won't let me rotate my camera. So I guess this is what we're dealing with for today's live, even though it's been like a minute since I've done a live. But hey, what can I do? Anyway, how's everybody doing? All right, so we'll wait for a couple people to pour in. We'll go ahead and get started. Am I still working for the Bucks? Yeah, I actually have a gig with the Bucks on next Sunday, which is my birthday, by the way. The clock isn't in the shot. Not today. But yeah, guys, I really don't know what's going on. I apologize for the inconvenience. For some reason, my YouTube channel wouldn't let me go live, and now it won't let me rotate so that I can actually get like the full picture of my setup. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. I'm doing okay. I've been busy, but no, I've been great. A lot of shows lately. You know, normal stuff. How's everybody doing? So we are going to talk about, of course, what's going on with the cruise industry. We have great news, but we also have complicated news too. So yeah, guys, I mean, what a week it's been. Whoop. Give me a second here. I'm going to try and see if I can rotate the phone. I'm trying to see. It says orientation is locked. All right. Yeah, no, for some reason it's saying that I can't rotate the phone, so I don't know. Guys, we're going to have to do the live like this, I guess. I apologize, but hey, at least you guys can hear me. We can do the live, so we're good to go. How's everybody doing? We'll get to all the questions in a minute. I know people have questions about Hall in America and all that. Honestly, I have not heard from Hall in America. They've been pretty silent lately, surprisingly. But as far as the other cruise lines, guys, I know we're still waiting to see what's going to go on with the cruise lines. You know, they have to get their certification. What was it called? The what is it? I forgot what it's like some CDC constitutional sailing certification that they're gonna have to get. Pretty much, it's like it seems like a Willy Wonka golden ticket, you know. So I mean, I don't know. Like 2020 cruising is definitely still possible. We're a little bit closer than we have been, but I think it's still going to be a push, and we're just waiting to see what's going to happen. Who keeps talking about Oreo cheesecake? Yeah, we are definitely a lot closer than we were. We just got to wait and see how everything plays out with the cruise lines. They got a lot of loopholes to jump through, a lot of them. So I mean, at this point, guys, I know a lot of people. I mean, yeah, we can celebrate and everything, you know, with the CDC no sail order being lifted and CLIA's voluntary pause in operations being, you know, all of it's gone now. But there are just a ton of restrictions for the cruise lines. A lot of loopholes they're going to have to jump through. I will be talking about it in my video tomorrow. But, you know, I think it was what, like 40 pages, something like that. I've read through most of it. I still got to finish today, get all the details in. But it's a lot. It really is. So the cruise lines definitely, we're not out of the woods yet, unfortunately. Company changing my assignment. I'm still waiting on the isolation of many. 8-day cruises. No, so they're only going to do a max of 7-day cruises. So I'm still waiting to see exactly what they're going to do for the 14-day cruises or even the 8-day cruises that they have going on. I'm assuming they may cancel it or they may try to change the itinerary. But, you know, I think at this point it's still kind of up in the air. But camera lens. No, it's just the lighting, I think. Yeah, no, it's not smoke, I promise. It's just the way the lighting is set up and the angle and whatnot. But yeah, there's definitely it's going to be a busy week next week. I think we're going to get a lot of news, a lot of updates on what's going on with the industry. Sometime, I mean, probably starting tomorrow. The cruise lines definitely have to update the public on what's going on, and I think it's going to be big. To be honest, I think we'll probably get some concrete information as far as what things are going to look like for the rest of 2020. A week to my birthday. Yeah. November 8th is my birthday. I'll be 28. I'm getting old, guys. 14-day cruise on the Anthem of the Seas in July. Would it run? July, I mean, I would hope by that time they got all this figured out. But, well, you know, you just never know at this point. It's going to take a while for the cruise lines to phase back in and get their ships back into operation. It's going to be an issue for sure. Let's see, somebody asked about the Caribbean cruise. Well, with the Caribbean, we still got to wait and see if they even get approval. 28's old. It is old. For me, all right, for me being a break dancer and like an active person, to me it's old. I don't feel like it. So, I mean, I think I'm doing all right so far. But yeah, so I mean, I am going to go over everything and like as far as like to my knowledge in detail tomorrow, but I do think we're going to get a lot of updates, a huge stream of updates this week from every cruise line that will be operating in the United States. Because, I mean, it's kind of at that point now. It takes the cruise lines a while to get out of cold layup. There's all the paperwork that they have to fill out. They got to let everybody know what's going on because, you know, this is going to be a busy time. We're now entering holiday season. And for cruise lines, I don't think it'd be beneficial for them to just wait until the last possible second, how they have been all year. So we're definitely going to need a huge influx of information this week. I'm getting old. Yeah, guys, I feel old. I really do. Next video, look, I might do that. Who knows? I'll show like a clip of me doing some dancing or something. I don't know. But one thing I'm worried about, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but you know, Europe for the most part is on lockdown. Like my girl's over there, I got friends over there. One of my moderators, Rob, is over there. Vaping Rob. Sorry, I forgot. I got to pronounce that right. But Rob is over there, and you know, they're going to be on lockdown until, what is it, Rob? November 2nd? I think it's starting this Thursday up until November 2nd. I believe that's what it is. But, you know, the fear is that I'm worried about right now personally is a lockdown here in the United States, because I don't think it'll go over so well due to what we've been dealing with, you know, with a lot of the American people as far as financially and whatnot, with the elections, everything. It's about to get wild here, and I do think that would inevitably affect the cruise ship industry too. So, Dax, thank you so much for the super chat. He said breakdancing is from the 80s because I'm from the early 80s. Yeah, it's definitely evolved though, I can tell you that. And I got a super chat from somebody else earlier. I just don't know what. Give me a second. Let me scroll back, guys. I don't like to miss the super chats. Dax, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really. All right. Let's see. UK second lockdown to December. Okay. Yeah. I figured. Do you think the cruise industry would be running at 100% capacity, 100% by February or March? No, definitely not. That's impossible. They won't be doing it. They won't be doing it. What is this super chat thing? Super chat, like people can donate to the channel, which I'm grateful for. You don't have to, obviously, but when people do, I definitely appreciate it. And hit that like button too. I'd appreciate that too, guys. But you know, I'm worried about the lockdowns due to the fact that, you know, with the elections and tensions being high and everybody being stressed out at the moment with everything going on, it could inevitably affect everything else that we're dealing with as far as cruising. You know. A lot of people don't have money right now. They don't know when we're going to see stimulus. We don't know when we're going to see another increase in unemployment or anything like that. That's all that stuff that's on the outside of cruising that people just aren't thinking about that would affect cruising in the long run too. Because if there's chaos in the streets, I don't see cruising just kind of being one of those things that people are going to be in, you know, in the mindset for. Probably won't be 100 cruising or back at 100% until fourth quarter of next year. I agree. I definitely agree. I definitely 100% agree. There's so much at stake at the moment. Like I said, I mean, I'm going to go over what the recommendations are and what the guidelines are from the CDC tomorrow, but I think we're going to get a lot of new information this week from Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and NCL. At least I would hope they would, because like I said, holiday season is already enough going on, and if they don't give us that information early, you're going to see a lot more problems down the road for cruising in December. Let's see, I missed a couple. What was this? Do you know any info of the new build of Cunard? They're holding back the name. No, I don't know. I don't know about that new build. I've heard about it. I don't know any additional information on that as of right now. Especially lately, we've been focusing so much on the CDC. I've been trying to get as much information and updates as I can. But if things calm down a little bit, I'll definitely have to dig into that. Let's see. A lockdown in the United States is going to happen when Biden takes the White House. I don't want to get political, but I mean, as far as the lockdowns, I personally think that the lockdowns are going to affect cruising too, just because like there's so much going on, and if there's a lot going on in like the regular world, I don't see leisure being even a possibility, especially in places here like Florida where it's already kind of hectic. It really is. Is there any update about Carnival and if they're going to set sail in December? Like I said, as of right now, the cruise lines haven't really put out a ton of information. I would assume just like normal, and it's expected they would be gathering some information to figure out exactly what to tell the public, because, you know, when they tell us something, it can't be taken back. So I think with the new announcement that the CDC no sale order is completely gone now, I think they're going to really gather up and try to give everybody the most accurate information that they can. And I would assume, as of right now, they're going to see what loopholes they can get through, or the loopholes that they're going to have to find, or, you know, just the hoops that they're going to have to jump through in order for cruising to happen in December. There's going to be a lot of factors. I looked through all of it. There's a lot of testing they're going to be having done for the crew. There's the quarantine. We don't know for sure yet if there's going to be quarantine for the guests after they get off the ship. You know, so I think we're all going to have to just kind of play the waiting game throughout the week, and I'll just give you guys as much information that I can as we go along. See, I heard you're starting a third channel about how to do YouTube sometime this week. If that's true, follow the young cruise creator. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm starting that channel tomorrow, actually. I was going to talk about that later on in the live. But yeah, so starting tomorrow, I have another channel talking about how to create a YouTube channel, because, I mean, I like helping people, so why not? I'm really into like YouTube analytics and stuff. I enjoy it. Sherry Kennedy, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me say, what was that, Scott? Cruise lines are probably going through what the CDC released and getting things together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do believe that we're going to hear something, most likely, at least I would hope so. We'll hear something most likely early in the week. I wouldn't put it past me, or at least sometime this week, and then we'll just have to kind of go from there. But like I said, tomorrow I am going to go through this little, like, not even little, I'm going to skim through this 40-page like document that I read about what they want from the cruise lines in order for them to sail. But from what I can see and what I can tell you guys, as far as the certificate that they need in order to sail, because there's like a CDC certified certificate that they're going to have to get in order to be able to have their ship sail, and this is a ship-by-ship basis, not a cruise line basis. It seems like cruise lines are going to have to find, like, this is like some Willy Wonka type deal where they got to find the golden ticket to be able to set sail. It's going to be like that for sure, because there's going to be limitations everywhere. They're probably going to have a limited amount of the ships that are allowed in these ports, whether it be Port of Miami, Port Canaveral. They're going to say, all right, well, we can only have in total 5 ships in this port. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to definitely be somewhat of a race for the cruise lines to see who can get what ships into these ports and get operating again. I have a question. We have to wear a mask on the cruises. I would assume so. They're gonna go and confirm all the fine stuff. I think, like I said, sometime this week we'll get a lot of information. I believe so. But as far as the mask, I mean, unless they come out with a vaccine, I'm assuming that they will definitely have everybody wear a mask on board. Will the vaccine save cruising? To some degree, yeah. I've mentioned it before in a lot of my videos. I believe that the vaccine itself is going to create a whole nother monster between all the anti-vaxxers and people that don't want to take it and all this, which I understand to some degree. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm still kind of skeptical about a vaccine popping up after such a short time. I think it's going to be a problem in itself. It would, in the long run, I think, alleviate all the worries about cruising, you know. Let's see, that was a comment I was looking for. Do you think the mushroom drill will ever happen? No, the mushroom drill, honestly, if the cruise lines are smart, I think they will follow through with what Royal Caribbean is doing and just go ahead and make it digital. To be honest, that's probably the worst part about cruising. I think a lot of people can agree with that. It was a long time coming. You know, this pandemic kind of expedited it, but I think that needed to happen to begin with anyway. So yeah, hopefully they do get rid of it. Was that, Scott? The only place I can see where you wouldn't have to wear a mask is the pool and on your own cabin. Yeah. The masks are definitely going to be mandatory on board the ship, for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, so as of right now, the guidelines as they stand, there is still a lot of, like I said, just hoops that the cruise lines have to jump through. They need confirmation. They need, I believe it's like 3 tests for the cruise so far. They're going to need the passengers to be able to test. And then they're talking about quarantining, of course, after the cruise too. They're going to need a lot of stuff. And then they got to go through these phased in, these simulation cruises where they're going to start out with the crew going first. Right, they're probably going to have to, have the crew maybe do a trip or two, either to nowhere or their private islands. They have to simulate, I guess it's a scenario where they have somebody on board with COVID, simulate an outbreak, so the CDC can actually confirm what they would do in the event of an emergency. So it's a lot. It's going to be a lot. I'm going to break all of it down tomorrow, but I just want to give you guys just the gist of what's going on. It's like literally 40 pages of you guys got to do A, B, C, all the way to Z. It's a lot. It really is. So it's definitely, we're not out of the woods yet. Not by a long shot. Never mind about the phone app. No, I'm kind of annoyed. I really am. I mean, I was really excited to do the live stream. I still am. It's good to see you guys again, but I didn't expect it to be like this. I actually wanted to have like the full picture and be able to do things, but I don't know. YouTube can be a little weird sometimes, so I mean, what are you going to do? I tried at least like 6 different times and it wouldn't let me go live, and then it finally let me go live, so hey. Let's see. So each captain of each ship is responsible for getting the certification. I don't think it'd be down to the captain. I would assume that the shoreside staff and the CEO and everybody else that's in charge of logistics, all the people that are in charge shoreside, will be the ones that are in charge of getting all the paperwork and documentation done for the ships. And then it'll be up to the captain before they see guests. It'll be up to the captain to make sure that everything is done as far as the simulation cruises and the test cruises and the simulation of the outbreak. All that stuff is going to have to be conducted by the captain. So, I mean, like I said, it's going to be a long process. I mean, as far as cruising in 2020, like I said, I think they're going to have to really step on the gas right now. They're going to have to just go ahead and get everything done, which they have been doing a lot of work. You got crew members getting back to the ship, but they have to quarantine before they even get on the ship. Then they got to quarantine when they're on the ship. There's so much. Isn't the CDC a private company? Yeah, technically, but it's like, that's like the Fed, the Fed that's in charge of our money. They're not government. So, and they're not federal. So, I mean, it's weird. It really is. A lot of questions to be answered when it comes to that. Certification will be issued after audit by third party. Yeah, I would assume that's what they're doing, because they don't want any chance of any type of lobbying, or not lobbying. Wow. Any type of somebody that say maybe paying underhand and saying, look, we just need to pass this or whatever, because when money's involved, you can come to a lot of bad situations. So they definitely will hire somebody as an independent that can go on the ship and say, all right, well, they've done A, B, and C. We've checked off all the boxes. We can go ahead and have cruising. Do you know if you'll have to have a COVID test prior to cruising? Yeah, they'll probably require a PCR test. I'm assuming they would. They'll probably require that. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Honestly, that wouldn't be a good idea. So they're going to have people do the test on board or prior to getting on the ship. And then they may even require testing. Let's say, even though they're probably going to do the safety bubble in the ports whenever people do their excursions, they may require some type of quick rapid test as well at that point too. And then who knows, they could have randoms on board the cruise as well. I wouldn't put it past it. I mean, honestly, I think that will probably be what will happen. Somebody tests, let's say a high temperature or whatever at one of the temperature checkpoints or something like that. They have to be ready. How much does the test cost? I mean, they're getting cheaper, but a PCR test, if somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but when I looked it up, because I was going to get one before I went to Europe, it runs anywhere from like $100 to $150, but they might be cheaper now. So, do I know how many days before cruising? Well, you got cruise lines that are literally set up to go at the very beginning of December. So, I mean, will that happen? We don't know as of yet, because we got to see how quickly the cruise lines can get through these little hoops that they have to jump through. As far as the simulation test and everything else that they need to get done, it's going to take time. But I think at the earliest, it'll probably be maybe mid-December or to late December. I don't know about at the beginning now, because I mean, with a month left, you got to get the simulations done, all the paperwork done, the certification. There's a lot that has to happen. In Europe, we'll be using saliva tests, which are cheap, quick, and 99% accurate. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to probably switch to the rapid test, because first of all, those nostril tests, I'm not really excited to take. I don't think anybody is. And I think they take a while too. They have to send them to a lab and all this other stuff too. So they're probably going to jump on the rapid test and just go from there. But it's going to be a process, and to get it done in a month, I think is going to be a lot for the cruise line to do. It doesn't matter how much money they have. For Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian to try to do something of that nature, to have cruising be able to happen, let's say at the beginning of December, they might just make it. Just make it. So I don't know. I mean, I hope we can see cruising here in December. And to be honest with you guys, I was gonna ask. I don't know if anybody has like connections to maybe a cruise line, because I don't have these kind of connections. Cruise lines are talking about doing, with the simulation sailings with the crew. They are gonna probably bring on, let's say, family members of crew members. They're gonna bring on influencers, like people that are willing to test out for these cruises. If anybody has a connection, because I would love to get on the ship. Let's say, be a test subject, I guess, the lab rat. I wouldn't mind doing it. It'd be nice, to be honest. I would love to get back on the ship. I would love to be able to get on there and talk about what's going on so that I can make all of you guys aware of it too. So if anybody has a connection, I was just going to reach out to the marketing team for these cruise lines tomorrow. But, if anybody has a connect out there, just shoot me an email. Maybe we could talk to somebody. Let me know. But yeah, so anyway, we can answer some questions. Anybody got any questions? What about bookings? Do you have any bookings coming up for December? And if so, has anybody heard anything? As you guys know, I'm not a travel agent, so I don't get all that internal information. I hear stuff from my friends, and that's the gist of it. Yeah, Rob, you can send me a contact for celebrity. That'd be great. I'd appreciate it. So, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna put in a lot of work tomorrow morning. I'm gonna contact at least the big three. I'm probably gonna contact Bahamas Cruise Line. I'm gonna contact them because, me living in Florida, I live in Tampa, and I'm young, I'm healthy. I think I'd be the perfect candidate to get back on these ships. And and with my channel too, I'm pretty unbiased. I think we all can agree on that. But who knows? It just depends how the cruise lines see it. But that's my aim right now. I'm really going to be trying to focus on getting back on the ship. Hopefully before when they do these tests, I would love to be able to do one of those. But we'll see. If not, I'll get on at the earliest possible chance. I know the sales manager at NCL. Oh, that'd be great, Ryan. That'd be great. Let me see. I told most testing candidates will be travel partners and vendors. Okay, but still, I know a lot of cruise lines and a lot of companies these days, they do hire people with influence as well. With me being a content creator, I think it'd be good publicity for the cruise line. That's my personal opinion, but what do you guys think? If I could get on there, I think it'd be cool, So, I try my best to do right by the cruise lines. I'm just unbiased, I guess you could say. Mary Lou, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. So, yeah, they got to go through that phase. So it's like, if you put that into perspective, right? Let's say they do plan on sailing into, I don't know, at the beginning of December. Right now, they would have to, let's say they would, in theory, have to sail right now. Let's say the simulation cruise, they'd have to do one right now with just the crew, because that's how it's going to go. And then while they're out there, simulate an outbreak. So who knows how long they're going to be in their private island or port or whatever the case is. And then they got to come back and do the other simulation cruise where they do testing, maybe. And that's if they do, let's say, they say they're only going to set, let's say, one cruise for just crew. And then they try to branch out a little bit more and bring in, let's say, vendors or people from marketing or travel agents. If they go that route, well, you're talking about a 2-week time frame, and then on top of all the other paperwork and certificates they have to get. Cruising could happen in December. At the beginning of December. But I don't see that being likely. I really don't. And I don't want to be negative, but I think we can definitely pat ourselves on the back. I think everybody's been patient. We can be happy about what the CDC no sail order being released. But I do think there's still a lot of hoops that have to be gone through, and the cruise lines have to start right now. Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, I see a couple of you guys that say you have some connections. Yeah, you can reach out to whoever, maybe show them my channel. That'd be great. Like I said, I'm going to do my own work as well, but I can only do so much. These days, you're only as good as your connections. Let's see, I missed one. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. If I can get on the ship, like I said, I would gladly volunteer. If I got to go pay to get a test done just to get on the ship and pay for the cruise, I'm cool with that. Now, given, I don't know about paying for like a test cruise, but hey, whatever. We'll see. What was that, Scott? I can sell ice to... You're silly, man. Oh, man. No, I'm not trying to be negative, not at all. But like I said, guys, we do got to keep a level head. I think it's exciting. I think with the CDC no sale order being eliminated and not worrying about CLIA's voluntary pause in operations, we can definitely relax a little bit because there's actually a real strong chance of cruising actually happening. You know what I mean? So we have a good chance. We actually have a chance now because we didn't beforehand. You're going to be on the cruise with Tony and Jenny, Sherry Wright in 2023. I don't know. I haven't gotten the invite. I don't know. Somebody, well, 2 people emailed me about that. I haven't gotten an email. I think Sissy, you did see me an email. I got to check that out. But I haven't gotten an official email from Tony or Jenny. So I mean, I'm not going to invite myself. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't look right. Not at all. Do you think the USA will have restrictions for people from South America? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That alone is going to be an issue. You know, I think that whenever cruising does return here to the United States, if it's December, they're definitely only going to take locals. They might prefer people that are from, let's say, near the port. Like, let's say if they do sail out of Port Miami, as far as future cruise credits and everything else, and people trying to redeem, people booking cruises, they may, for the most part, target people that, let's say, are in the area. I don't know how they limit that, but still, I think they're probably going to do their best to restrict who goes on board. All major content creators should do a group cruise on the Harmony. Yeah, I'd like to. So I think, you know, whenever, I would say my channel is somewhat established, but I think once it gets a little bigger, I would like to definitely do like some kind of collaborations. I've already done what I did, a live stream with Traveling with Bruce, which was great. I definitely like to level up and just, you know, maybe be able to talk to a couple more people. So we'll see. I got to get more tech savvy though, guys. All I have is this phone, which is acting up for some reason. I can't rotate it, and this computer. So, I mean, I got to do my homework. I know you guys see La Lita Loca's live stream. Like, I mean, I guess Tony was in IT, so I guess he's somewhat tech savvy. So I gotta step it up first if I'm gonna, you know, get to that whole idea. I'm also not a travel agent, so I'd have to talk to somebody else that is a travel agent to set up a group cruise. Which, I mean, you know, one of my moderators, he's a travel agent, which is good, Rob. So if we can do that, it'd be nice. Let's see. Yeah. No, I would definitely do a group cruise, for sure. I definitely would. I mean, that'd be nice if we can do one at some point. Would you ask Rob how many people would be interested in doing a ship life group cruise? Yeah, I'm curious. Would you guys be interested in doing a ship life cruise if we had one? A travel agent. Okay. I mean, honestly, to be honest with you guys, having a group cruise has been on my mind, but obviously I want to wait till all of this kind of mulls over and we see a little bit more light at the end of the tunnel before we actually make the decision to do a group cruise, because I actually want to be there, be able to have some fun and not have all the restrictions and stuff that we're probably going to be dealing with for the first couple months while we figure out this whole COVID situation. Do a partnership with your friend and travel agent, and yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm just not really thinking about that too much at the moment. I don't want to get too overly excited because we're still like we still got a long road to go, long road to travel, guys. But yeah, I mean, if things go good and we actually have cruising, let's say in December, I think starting January, February, I would definitely probably try to put a group cruise sometime in 2022. You know, that way we have plenty of time. Everybody can do what they need to do and set up their cruises and whatnot. We can get everything figured out. So, yeah. A little early, but, I mean, I would love to do one. I mean, the difference between, like, let's say me and Don and Tony and Jenny. I mean, obviously, Don's a travel agent. Jenny's a travel agent with La Lita Loca. And they've also been doing this a lot longer than I have. You know, technically, I'm still kind of new to the mainstream cruising area. You know, before this, I don't know how many of you guys have been with me since the beginning. I was only talking about cruise stuff for the most part, talking about stories of being a crew member. So I literally just jumped into mainstream cruising stuff like cruise news and all that. Let's say the beginning or the middle of March. So I'm still kind of figuring it out as I go along too. You know, just learning along the way. I try to do my homework, study up, but I'm not a travel agent, so I'm limited on what I can do, unfortunately. Cruise will be limited. Yeah, the 7-day limitation. I mean, it's a bummer, but I think it's expected, and I think it'll probably be a continuated thing maybe later on in 2021 as well. So we'll have to see. I talked to my cousin who works for Carnival, and they said they most likely start sailing. Yeah, I think so. Sailing in December. I think so. But he said there'll be more cancellations. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's the issue that people have. I mean, I'll probably talk about it tomorrow. But even though we have, let's say, some type of a green light for cruising, I do think that there's going to be a lot more cancellations as we move forward into December, because there's too many loopholes, and with this little golden ticket that we have to deal with the certification, I do think that cruise lines are going to just kind of back down a little bit for the most part and say, you know what, we're only going to sail with a couple ships, 2-3 ships for December, and then once we get our head on straight, we'll go ahead and put out more ships as we go along. A smaller phased-in approach, I guess you could say. Have you appeared on Emma Cruz's live show? No, I haven't. I mean, if she reached out to me, I'd be more than willing. I mean, Traveling with Bruce, he reached out to me, and I think we had a good live stream. I don't know if you guys saw that, but him and I, we went down the rabbit hole of YouTube and whatnot, which I think was really cool. And you guys know both of us can talk anybody's head off, so we ended up talking for like 2 hours. So yeah, I mean, I would love to do another live stream with somebody. Do you think you'd ever work on a cruise ship again? There it is. I get asked that question every live stream. No, I wouldn't. Definitely not. Definitely not. I enjoy what I built here already with my YouTube channel, and I don't think at this point, when my channel was smaller, it made sense for me to still work on a cruise ship. But from the comfort, and I know I sound like a spoiled brat when I say this, but from the comfort and the amenities and type of contract that I got when I was working, that will never happen again. I was working 2 days a week doing a Broadway show, and in the Broadway show, I was like pretty much the special act. I'd come in there, do my flips, spit on my head, and I'd leave. I could never get that again. I had my own room. I had room service. I had privileges to go to the guest areas, the bars, the clubs, everywhere. I'll never get that again, and for that reason, I wouldn't work on another ship. It was kind of like a one-off thing, and it led me to where I am now with the YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that is one of those things I would never say never. Like, I mean, I got my son too. I wouldn't mind, let's say, going on a ship for like a couple weeks to go do work with my channel, but that's the gist of it. What major cruise line would you cover first? I mean, I would like to reach out to either Carnival, Royal Caribbean, or NCL, which is what I plan to do tomorrow. So it just depends on who I can either book with or who I can maybe do the test cruise with. Shoot, I mean, maybe if I get all three, that'd be nice. I mean, with me living here in Florida, could you imagine if let's say I did a test cruise with Carnival, came back, and then the next week I did one with Royal Caribbean, next week I did one with NCL. I mean, honestly, that would probably be impossible, but I think it'd be pretty cool. So we'll see. And I'm just trying to figure out like how I want to do my content when I get on board too, because I don't, the cruise news stuff is fun, but I think I've told you guys before, I don't enjoy it, I guess I could say. Like, I try to put a little humor here and there and give you guys valuable content, but I would love to be like out in the field. I want to be on the ship. I want to be able to do cruise ship tours. I want to be able to do, maybe have some fun while I'm on board. Show you guys like what you can do, outside of the norm, because I mean, I know a lot of things that people would probably be interested in on a cruise that they haven't even thought about. Maybe in the ports. People are fearful in the ports, but there's so many opportunities to save money. There's so many other things you can do other than just going on an excursion. So we'll see. I just want to kind of be I guess the guy that can hopefully change people's mindset when it comes to travel. People are so fearful of doing it, and I'll never, I mean, I understand why, but I want to show people, I guess, a different perspective to cruising. That's why I'm so like, I'm so ready to get on board. I really am. So we'll see. What did you do as a performer, and how did you get into the business? So I was a breakdancer and acrobat. I still am. Started at Busch Gardens, which is owned by SeaWorld here in Tampa. Worked for the Harlem Globetrotters. I was doing gigs like literally all over the world, and then I got the cruise ship contract. So yeah, in the middle of my contract, started a YouTube channel, kind of blew up, and here we are. The rest is history. Let's see, Heather. I enjoy watching you and Bruce discuss. Oh, thank you. I really like when getting away from me. Really like when it comes to YouTubers that I can describe to do a show together. Yeah, I would love to do more collaborations and live streams with more. Like, I would like to do maybe one with Tony. I know they're usually pretty busy, but we'll see. Maybe one with Don at some point. So, as far as when it comes to that, to me, they're kind of like the head honchos, like if they reach out to me, cool. But I mean, at this point, I feel like I have to, I guess, as weird as it is to say, prove myself before I, even think about doing a live stream with those guys. So we'll see. You shared your cabin crew. Do you think it'll be as tiny as before? Yeah, I think so. How long was I in Britain? I was there for about a month and a half. Let's see, what is that, Jeff? You have to remember right now that's all you can do because they're not going to let you off the ships unless you have booked shore excursions. Yeah, I know. No, I'm talking about in the future. Like whenever all this mulls over, I would love to show people a different perspective of cruising. Let's say maybe, and I don't mean this in an offensive way, but a lot of people see cruising as like an older thing to do. However, when I was on the ship, there's a million other things that people my age can do. Somebody maybe in their 20s and early 30s, as opposed to just thinking that it's something that people that are retired are doing. I want to bring a different perspective to cruising, and I think I can. I really do. I remember you showing the crew areas. Yeah, no, I miss those. Those are fun videos that I did. I like to be active. I don't like just to be sitting down in the chair, just regurgitating information to you guys. I'm just really surprised that you're condoning this outrageous political motivated decision to force the CDC. I'm not condoning anything. I mean, there's only so much you can do, to be honest with you. I mean, as far as the politics and stuff go, you guys know I don't really talk about it on this channel. But there's only so much that we can control. We can't control everything. It's impossible. St. Petersburg, Florida. What's that? Wanza? Well, why don't you contact me? I live in Tampa. I'm literally across the bridge. You know what? I see what's going on here. Typically from people that are from Tampa don't go to St. Pete that often unless it's for like a Rays game and then vice versa. So you don't like me because I'm from the other side of the bridge. That's why you haven't contacted me. No, I'm just kidding. Do you think Carnival will cruise her bigger ships or the smaller ones first? Well, it just depends. The cruise lines definitely want to turn a profit, and the only way you guys can turn a profit, or the cruise lines can turn a profit, is using the bigger ships. But at the same time, it just depends. Like one thing I think we'll find out potentially this week is the occupancy level, because we haven't heard anything about that. The cruise lines are saying, Carnival, for example, saying, oh, we're going to sail in December, but they haven't given out anything. MSC, they were saying, well, we're going to sail on 60% occupancy starting out. We haven't gotten that from Carnival, or NCL, or Royal Caribbean. So there's just that outline that we have to get prior to even thinking about cruising. We need more information, and hopefully we get it this week. I hope so. We'll see. Was there an outbreak recently on a river cruise? Yeah, there was one this week, and then there was one this past week. There was this past week, and then a week prior to that. One was a Swiss cruise line. I forgot the name of it, to be honest with you guys. I don't remember at all, but it was a Swiss cruise line over in Switzerland, and then the other one, where were they from? I think it was an Italian cruise line. So, by the way, I still got to do some research and look it up. You heard 70%? Yeah, I mean, I think they're talking about 60 to 70%, but I don't think it's been confirmed yet. So, I think we still got to wait and see. But I would assume they're probably going to do around that 50, 60, 70% if they can. The bigger ships need less passengers to break even, so newer ships will more likely be sailing. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Oh, thanks, Rob. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, we got 125 likes so far. We got 180 people here. If you could smash that like button, I'd appreciate it. But we still definitely have a road to go. Like I said, guys, I mean, tonight I'm going to be doing a ton of research trying to figure out exactly what the game plan is. But chances are, with my luck, as soon as I tell you guys what's happening tomorrow, it's already going to be obsolete, and the cruise lines are going to put a bunch of information out. I hope not, because I hate to have to rush and make a video. I really do. But I do think we're going to get some solid information sometime this week. I'd be surprised if we didn't. But at the same time, I guess I wouldn't. It's a big week. There's going to be a lot going on this week. We still got the elections. We got everything else going on. So, but I just think it would behoove of the cruise lines to get information out as soon as possible, because with holiday season, it's not like any other time of the year. People are really trying to make concrete plans. They can't change it up at the last possible second. Like, most of the year, people can be a little bit more flexible, but this isn't the time of year. And I think the cruise lines will be aware of that. Test cruises, small ships. Minimize cost, pay for. Yeah, that's true, but the only problem is, right, there's that little catch-22 right there. Either they can minimize the cost to restart operation by using smaller ships, but it's harder to turn a profit with the smaller ships once they're actually in operation. You know what I mean? So it's like they kind of have to take the chance with the bigger ships. It makes sense, in my opinion. Use the bigger ships, take the chance, because if you can get the bigger ships, you can get more people, you can get more revenue in. So we'll see. Where do I perform now? So, I mean, I perform right now. I mean, with being an entertainer, it's kind of hard right now. But I perform for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I do a couple clubs and bars here and there. And then there's a pier over in St. Petersburg that I do every now and then. So, but yeah, for the most part at this point, honestly, I just do YouTube, car detailing, stuff like that. So I just kind of bounce around a bit. Performing is it's hard to come by at this point. Everything's shut down. Your phone's lagging. St. Lucia. St. Lucia. I don't know what it is about that place. I really liked St. Lucia when we went there. Have you heard anything about the Scarlet Lady? We're booked to sail in February. The latest update with Virgin is that they canceled all sailings until January. So as of right now, your cruise is still good to go in February. How did you find your time in London? It was great. It was great. I mean, it was different. I mean, honestly, as far as the pandemic, it's just as confusing as it is here. So, nothing new. I mean, I think it was weird with the whole QR code thing, but that's it. Let's see, what pier? The one with the aquarium? No, it's the new St. Pete pier. The one they tore down and rebuilt. Some of the smaller ships are currently in Rift. The new ships are all clear of any special surveys, dry docking requirements, so many factors to consider. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like on I guess on the outside looking in, it does sound like a good idea to use smaller ships, but in the long run, if cruising does actually commence, it's going to be a lot harder to turn a profit, especially if you're limited with occupancy. Hey, I said I would never work on a cruise ship again. Yeah, just because honestly, I would never get the kind of contract that I actually did when I started my YouTube channel. Then I got my son here. He's getting older too. My son's 10. So, I think it's time for me to definitely do my part to just be around as much as I can. When he was younger, it was a little bit different to a certain degree. But for me to jump and do 6-month contracts now, I'm honestly not up for it. I did it for like 10 years straight. You get tired of coming and going. Like you leave for 6 months out of the year, come back, have to rebuild. It's a lot. It's a lot. I couldn't even explain it. The crew's going to suffer. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the crew this week. Because they're definitely going to have a hard time on board. I don't think that there's no way around it. I really don't. Just due to the fact that, the crew, let's say if they have quarantines, if they have social distancing, that means for the crew members, right? And if you guys have never worked on a cruise ship, essentially what happens is your only saving grace on board is usually the crew bar and the fact that you have access to shore leave, meaning you can go in the ports and islands on a day that you might have off, which is a very, very rare occasion. And I think that's all going to be somewhat taken away for the crew members, especially shore leave, whenever cruising comes back. I think it's going to be an issue. And I think for the overall mental health of the crew, it's definitely going to be a problem. So I'm going to talk about that this week. I mean, I know people don't like when I talk about that kind of stuff, but I think it's definitely something for whoever's going to be a crew member on board. Let's say between now and 2021, it's definitely going to be an issue. Let's see, when will I see my girlfriend again? Well, at this point, I don't know. I was planning on going back at the end of November, and then it got pushed back now to December. So we got to see what's going on with this, this lockdown now. I got to play the waiting game again. So we'll see. I told her as soon as we get confirmation that the lockdown is going to happen. Well, I mean, I got the money ready. I can just buy a ticket and go head over there. But we'll see. We'll see. Who said that I like turtles? Oh my god, I forgot all about that video. Working on ships is going to be very, very hard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's definitely going to be an issue. You're talking about limited crew. Now, naturally, people are going to assume, well, there's limited crew and there's going to be limited guests on board the ship, right? So it should all even out, right? Well, you guys have seen, if those of you that have been on a ship, the crew are already working hard. And the crew is technically already understaffed to begin with. And then you're talking about less crew and triple, if not more, of the work that needs to be done as far as sanitization, cleaning, all the protocols. It's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be a very stressful situation for the crew. So, for all entertainment, will they still be allowed in ports? No, definitely not. The entertainment is going to have a hard time. I think we won't see, to be honest with you, until all this mulls over, I don't think we'll see the same caliber of entertainment there. I think a lot of the entertainers are going to turn down contracts after they read through their contracts, and because that's the thing. Like when I was working on board, I couldn't imagine working 2 days a week, having all this free time off, and not being able to get off the ship, not being able to go where I want on the ship. It's going to be an issue. Yeah, the entertainment will be limited for sure. For sure. I mean, given because there's only so many places they can have shows, and if they can't have shows without social distancing, they can't do it. So, I mean, they can have the shows maybe limited, but you got all these licenses and stuff getting taken away for these shows and stuff now. Like with NCL, I was doing a Broadway show, that license is gone. A lot of other shows, they're pretty much non-existent. So it's gonna be different on board. You'll see more shows though, probably. Yeah, if the cruise is to nowhere, no, people do need to be entertained. Shoot, I might reach out to the cruise line. They might have a low budget, so they can bring breakdancers back on board. They never paid us much on there. It was more drinking. Yeah, you're right. No, but I think maybe they'll hire different styles of entertainers. So I got my guys. Maybe they can have us go breakdance on the ship again. Carnival. If you guys, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Fun Force. That was a cool thing to have. So we'll see. Maybe they'll have some different styles of entertainment that might end up being appealing to people. Nice shirt. Oh, thank you. H&M. I'm a cheap guy. You'll see me at H&M and Old Navy all day long. All day long. But yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of changes, and I think there's going to be a lot of new information that we're going to have to receive between now and, let's say, December 1st. Probably before that, because cruise lines can't just come out last minute. Even if they're secretly getting ready, they can't just come out of the woodwork and say, hey, we've done everything that needs to be done. You guys can sail again. The only reason I might decline the contract is if they don't allow getting out, and I don't like to be a prisoner. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm going to do a video talking about that this week, but I'm telling you, I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin for crew members saying yes or no, because the truth is that's the only reason for a lot of them that they sign up in the first place. Well, the money, of course, but a lot of them, they just have a very, very difficult time getting on the ship knowing they can't get off. I personally couldn't do it. I don't think I could. So, yeah, I have an Instagram account. I just don't really, advertise it much, because I don't talk about, like, cruise ship stuff on my Instagram. It's usually me just doing backflips and stuff, and, yeah, so. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of big stuff coming up between this week and probably next week. It's air still circulating cabin to cabin. I think they're going to change their air circulation system. A lot of cruise lines are definitely trying to do that. Not going to be easy, but they're going to have to. So we'll see. We will see. Tonight I got a lot of reading to do, as far as what's going on. I'll be scouring the world for articles, I guess, on any kind of update from these cruise lines. And we'll see. Like even in Europe, as you guys see, you got cruise lines pushing back, pulling out of certain countries. Stuff like that. So we'll just have to see how all of it plays out. I mean, as far as cruising though happening in December, we have to see I think we have to see what we hear this week. I think the cruise lines, they don't really have a choice. Even though it's election week, right? We got so much stuff happening this week. If the cruise lines don't give people, the public, legitimate information, concrete information, I don't know. I can't say cruising will happen in 2020 at all, really, because there's so many loopholes that have to get jumped through. And if the public isn't aware, that means they're not going to set to get ready to go on the cruise to begin with. Please talk about the cruise this week. Yeah, I will. I'm going to make probably like a dedicated video. My girlfriend is in Birmingham, over in the United Kingdom. So, yeah, and she's getting ready to quarantine. Thankfully, she has a roommate, because I'd be going crazy if I was by myself. I mean, I live by myself here, but you guys know what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, what crazy times. I mean, we're celebrating, but at the same time, we're like, okay, now what? Now what? What's been the longest contract you've done, and what do you think the contracts will be with after or during, again, with COVID? So I think the contracts will, for the most part, stay the same. Or, shoot, they might try, depending on certain positions, they might push for longer contracts. Because the thing is, with these crew members, it's going to be a lot more expensive to get them on the ship now. And I mean a lot more, right? Because typically when you do these, whenever you get on the ship, or as a crew member, whenever you get hired, depending on your position, you got to fly somewhere. Right? Go get your training done, and then you got to fly. Like, some people have to fly to multiple destinations before they even get on the ship. Like, for example, somebody has to get all their doctor stuff done when the world is regular, right? Get all their doctor stuff done, and then they got to fly to a training. Let's say if you work in the spa, you got to fly to the Steiner facility over in the United Kingdom, train there, and then after that, you go to the ship. But that can't really be done because you're talking about a 14-day quarantine, testing, everything else under the sun before they even do those other step processes. It's going to be extremely costly for the cruise lines. So I think they're going to probably push for longer contracts if they can for certain positions. But don't quote me on that, by the way. That's just my assumption. We're not truly locked down in the UK. We'll still be able to go to the supermarket, still go to work. Yeah, I figured. I mean, it's a regular lockdown. But one thing I did see, and I mentioned it in my video last week. You guys, I don't know if you heard about the lockdown that was in Melbourne, Australia. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was just Melbourne, but it was parts of Australia where they were like martial law lockdown. I'm telling you, like they couldn't leave. I don't know how far away from their home, but there was a certain footage or a certain, distance that they couldn't leave out from their house. If they did, it was 112 days. 112. They'll get arrested, and it was up to, I believe it was like a $20,000 fine. They were on lockdown. But the problem is, I forgot, I don't know if they have I think it's the Prime Minister over there. He was suggesting that the UK and the United States do it as well, what they did. And to be honest with you, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. Here in the United States, it'll be chaos in the streets for a couple reasons, right? Americans are extremely stubborn. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I can be like that too, right? I'm not somebody that yells my rights, my freedom, and blah blah blah. But I just couldn't imagine, let's say, the country saying, look, you guys can't leave your house, you can't do this. But the bigger problem is the stimulus and the unemployment that people aren't getting. So many people don't have money right now, right? So you can't tell people, oh, you definitely can't go to work anymore, you can't do this, you can't do that. So it's going to be a monster. We got to see what happens. I'm telling you, this between this week and next week is going to get bad. Potentially for the country, for cruise lines, if things don't go as planned, I guess you could say. I mean, if there's potential for things to go very wrong. And I don't want to be negative. I'm just trying to make, just be honest when it comes to the situation, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but they're talking about elections. They're going to be chaos in the streets. Now, given that's probably just media gassing it up to something that it doesn't need to be, but we'll see. UK government subsidizing salaries 80% if you're furloughed. Yeah, we don't have that here. So that's what I'm saying. You can't expect people to just hunker down in their home when they're not getting any money. You know what I mean? So, what was that? Robert Upchurch? Open invitation to join CTI Town Hall. We stream Friday. We're close to. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you wanna shoot me an email, we can definitely talk. Just write me an email. So whenever this live stream is done, I'll have my email information in the bottom, and you can just contact me. What's your position to? What do you mean? What's my position? What do you mean? Canada closed until March. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This is a crazy situation, guys. This is gonna be a wild week, and we gotta just prep and see. But guys, I'm gonna be online for like 5 more minutes, so just ask away with your questions. Honestly, I'm here for it. It's good to be back doing a live stream, being able to communicate with everybody. And if you guys want to talk about what's going on with you, that's cool too. I just think it's gonna be a crazy week, for sure. You're right, Jay. Take care of yourself. Oh, thank you so much. Will I do a live on my birthday? That I don't know yet. Like I said, I'm supposed to work with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, working that game. I got to see what my call time is when I got to go check in and whatnot. I can tell you now, I don't think I'll be doing a live stream. If that's the case, I might try to do one on a Saturday or something like that to kind of make up for it, because I hate not doing them. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, guys, just be prepared this week. I'll put it that way. Be prepared. C. Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat. And I think you sent one earlier too. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I joined the chat a few minutes ago. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's good. I was just telling everybody that I think it's going to be an interesting week. There's going to be a lot happening this week for sure. Everybody just needs to stay vigilant. Everybody needs to stay aware. And then as far as the cruise stuff, I would assume we're going to get some information from either Carnival, Royal Caribbean, the big three at the minimum. Because, with the new announcement of the no sail order being lifted, I think that they have no choice right now but to gather up, because this is big news. This isn't something they can kind of brush off and say, we'll deal with it later. They need to inform people now. So I think starting tomorrow, we're going to start getting some articles coming up as far as what Carnival plans to do, what Royal Caribbean plans to do, what NCL plans to do, Bahamas Paradise. We got to see, if cruising wants to happen here in Florida. The ball's in the, yeah, that's exactly what I said literally on my last video. It's in their court. Now given, somewhat, They might as well be playing up against Michael Jordan or something, because they still got a lot of room. You know what I mean? They got a lot of work to do. So we'll see, and hopefully that work includes inviting me on a cruise for the test cruise. I would love to do that. I'm telling you, I'm going to be stuck on that. I really hope that I can do that. See, Don and Tony said that the cruise ships will be doing test cruise first before letting passengers on. Yeah, I'm telling you, I would love to get an invite. I mean, I'm young, healthy, I live in Florida. I have a pretty decent channel. I would love to go on there and document and let the world know what's going on if I can. So we'll see. I have no problem going to get a COVID test or anything like that. So we'll see. I don't like the speculation stuff. I really don't. But I say it in my video all the time. Like, it's all speculation at this point until it happens, because you guys see, things can change literally in a second. The snap of the finger. How do we volunteer? That's what I'm trying to look at. I'm looking for that right now. I got to do some reading today. It might be just on one of their websites or something like that, but I'm assuming there's going to be a way that people can contact them to volunteer. Personally, I'm reaching out to their marketing department tomorrow. And like I said, if anybody has a connection, if you're a travel agent or anything like that, and you have a connection to somebody that works on the ship, maybe with the marketing or sales, if you can contact them, maybe have them contact me, I greatly appreciate it. So we'll see. What was that? Is the test cruise free? Yeah, so I'm saying all that information isn't available as of right now. I mean, if I got to pay for the test cruise, I mean, I don't think it would be, because that wouldn't make any sense. I would do it, or I'll pay for my test to get done. I could pay for a PCR test. So we'll see. Don who, Tony who, ship life for me. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. That means a lot. Let's see. It's like a month of wait time if you have 2 plane trips. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be a lot more localized than people realize as well when cruising does come back. So in saying that too, you know, if you live in Florida, I think you probably have the best chance to get back on the ship. And that's, you know, I mean, as it stands right now, who knows? DeSantis tomorrow could say anybody coming in Florida has to do a 2-week quarantine. You know, you're a great guy. Thank you so much. I'm sure, Carlos, you're a great guy too. So we're all just great people. I think everybody here is great people. I would assume so. But you never know. I don't know. Somebody here could. Anyway, so, but let me see. Let's see, don't expect test cruises before the end of December. Yep, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it'll go that far, but you never know at this point. It's going to be a long road for the cruise lines to do all these test cruises and simulation cruises, right? Because you can't knock it all out in one cruise. So you're talking about minimum a couple weeks of testing and whatnot. How long is the test cruise? I would assume they're probably going to go, the longest that they can, 7 days. So if you put that in perspective, right, what's going to happen is, let's say they do their test cruise with the crew only. Let's say they sail a 7-day cruise from, I don't know, Florida, which is probably going to be the place that they're going to sail from. Do a cruise maybe in, if they can, multiple destinations. But as they get there, they probably have to communicate and maybe stay there for a day or two, because they have no guests. So since it's all crew, they might have to just stay there for a couple days, figure everything out with the local ports and whatnot, because all that needs to get established, and then you work their way around. So what would technically be a 7-day cruise might end up being a 10, 12, even 2-week cruise for them, making sure they're checking all the boxes off as they come around. And then they'll do like an actual week cruise with maybe some more staff, influencers, travel agents, maybe after the first test cruise, because they might do multiple. You know, we have to just kind of wait, be patient, see what exactly they're going to do. And like I said, at the beginning of this week, I do think we're going to get some type of clarity. Maybe not all the information that we need, but you know, we can only hope for the best, guys. We'll see. If you want to meet guests who are from all over the world, Cruz, Cunard. Oh yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I think a cruise ship, in general. I mean, yeah, if you're sailing out of the United States with the Carnival, Royal Caribbean, NCL, yeah, you're probably going to see mostly Americans. So. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap this live stream up. I'm so angry that I can't flip it. It's weird. It really is. I apologize, guys. I'm telling you, I need to contact Tony or somebody, because I'm not a tech-savvy guy. I need to learn. I really do. But I hope you guys are well. I will be back doing my videos tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I will reboot my phone, by the way, too, because I don't know what's going on. But, yeah. Also, I'll let you guys know what's going on. I do have I've been saying it forever too. I got to give you guys a P.O. box. I'll be talking about that tomorrow at the end of my video, giving you guys the P.O. box, telling you guys about my new channel that I have, all that other good stuff. So yeah, just get ready for this week, guys. It's going to be a wild one, even outside of cruising. All right, and stay safe out there. I'll see you guys soon, all right? Take care. Whoop. Hey, get out of here. All right, guys. See you later.